What's up, people? It's your boy Levelhead back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. This is episode 102. Many things to talk about, not enough time to get it all in. This is Sunday, so you know we got the one and only Jedi Knight in the building. In the, what would we call this space? Google Hangout. Go ahead, man.
Hey, what's going
Say
on, people?
something.
Glad to be back. It's been a while.
That's right, man. It's been a while for everybody that's here because we went on this.
Oh, that's
So,
right. We haven't had
yeah,
a,
man.
Sunday podcast in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, I haven't had anything in a couple of weeks, man. So, yeah, folks probably like, man, have they gave up? Have they quit? What's going on? But anyway, no, we haven't quit. Just had more pressing things going on outside of this. Yeah, man, life. And your boy was out of it for a couple of weeks, so we back in here to talk nothing but games.
Man, life has
we got
chill.
Jedi Knight here.
Life has no chill.
What'd you say?
I said life has no chill.
Nah, no, it don't. So we got Jedi Knight all in the space. We got K-Bomb 20 in the space. Keith Norris will not be able to make it tonight due to life, and hopefully D2K can jump in if he get a chance to. But I want to go here first. K-Bomb 20, you know, of course, I know y'all some sports guys, so are y'all shocked that my boys made it back? Are y'all kind of shocked?
Man, are we really gonna start off like this, man? Are we really gonna start this today?
Yes, you're right. Look,
I'm shocked your
look,
boys
let's
lost.
check this out. Hold up.
I ain't shocked that they here. I shocked that they lost. They should have swept just like the Wizards. I mean, the Warriors did. We're
You know,
losing too.
LeBron like we want to have some type of challenge before we go.
Want to be the
in,
underdog.
so we make it seem like and without Isaiah Thomas can take us a little bit, but you know, hey, we in it though. But I was gonna say, man, I woke up to people throwing shade at my boy earlier on Facebook. Up to it. Like, dude, I ain't even out my sleep. I still got a Z in my mouth, and y'all already trying to talk stuff about LeBron, man. That's how early they be getting it in with me. But anyway, yeah, it's gonna be epic this Thursday. Can't wait. That's that other type. If y'all know anything about them other type of games, with a controller, you got to watch this and hope. But
Yeah,
anyway,
Twitch. Twitch.
Right. So I'm looking forward to that. Jedi, man, when last time we was on, you was doing you were talking about the Jets trades, right?
Yeah, man. I kind of calmed down from that situation right now.
Oh, your quarterback situation.
What's going on, man? Go ahead and bring me up to speed. What's going on before we get into the games?
I don't even know if we can call that a quarterback situation. You know, we done paid a 14-year backup quarterback $6 million to, you know, be a quote unquote mentor. He's won nothing in the NFL. Why do you even have this guy mentoring your young quarterbacks? We have a second-round pick that shouldn't have been a second-round pick because the way he played at Penn State, he didn't, you know, warrant a second-round pick. And we got Bryce Petty. You know, who the hell is Bryce Petty? You know, I think that I can get on the field right now, and I'm not saying that I would win, but I would compete with them guys. Like, that's how bad the Jets quarterback situation is right now. It's pathetic, bro.
Oh, that's funny.
I heard a little, but not much. Really haven't heard much anything because of the situation with the Cavs and the Warriors and all that. So that's kind of dominating the sports arena. But anyway, I feel sorry for you, man. My condolences for next year.
Maybe I need to pick up basketball again, man. When I was younger, as you guys know, I was a super big Pacer fan. I loved Reggie Miller, and I just stopped watching.
Whoa! Did we just become best friends?
Oh my God.
You grew up a Reggie Miller fan, Pacer fan?
Man, I like the Reggie more than Jordan.
Oh man,
I hated Reggie Miller.
Dude, I loved Reggie Miller. That was the best, especially growing up in New York. It was the best, man.
I used to kick my legs out.
Those Pace and Nick rivalries, bro. And then after watching the game, you go back to school the next day, back in high school, you go right to the gym and be like, yo, Reggie shot that from here, bro. You see how deep that is? Yeah, man. That was the
Reggie was
the
Curry
highlight.
before it was Curry.
Yeah, what was that?
Reggie was Curry before it was Curry.
Yeah.
Right. I would say this. The reason I didn't like Reggie, man, Reggie always looked like he needed to eat more. That's why I felt. It looked like he was about to fall out just crossing the half court line. Like he was gonna have a collapse right there in the middle of the,
that boy, his wristbands was super wide and long.
Yeah, they were.
Dude looked anorexic as I don't know. That dude looked like he needed to eat, like he was just starving, man.
He was a frail dude. I think he was like 6'7", but he was less than 190 pounds. He was a frail dude. But
he was worse than Durant. Durant ain't even that small. So
but he was a killer though. He was a killer though.
Yeah, he was.
He wasn't afraid of nobody.
Okay, so we broke the ice, man, because it's been a minute since all of us been in here. You know, sports always break the ice. So anyway, we got Jedi Knight, we got K-Bum 20, and we got me, Level Head. So we ain't here to talk about those type of games, even though we here to talk about those type of games. But let's get into it, man. So you know what we kind of do when we start off. We do the whole what you been gaming on. So I'm gonna throw it to K-Bum 20. Captain America. What you been gaming on, man?
Yeah. So what I've been gaming on, I don't know if I talked about this last time we had a podcast. I think I did. I went out and bought the Call of Duty.
You did.
Edition. I talked about that. I haven't played that this week because nostalgia lied to me. It lied to me, brother. I am not as good as I thought I was in this game. And I think some of that comes with age, man. You know, when you get older, your reaction speed starts to slow down a little bit, and you can't react to certain things like you used to. So I think that's part of it. But you know, whatever, it is what it is. But I went ahead and I rented FIFA 17. You know, the main reason why I tried it out because I know the new Madden is going to have a story mode, and it's going to have the Frostbite engine. And I remember, oh yeah, that's right. FIFA had the story mode first, and they had the Frostbite engine. So I wanted to check it out to see what I can expect when I get Madden for both the Frostbite engine and also the story mode. And so I got it, and I also noticed a couple guys on my friends list who I usually play 2K with also had it. And so what they have in this mode is very similar to what they have. It's not very similar, but it on the same kind of notion. It's similar to what they do in 2K, how you can group up with your buddies and play online against other people. And so they have a quick play mode where you can play 5 humans versus 5 humans. And this is all on the soccer field. And so there's 11 people on the soccer field, but each side can have 5 people. So someone can be a goalie, a striker, a left winger, a midfielder, a defender, and so on and so on. So you can play that, and that's just a quick play. So there's 5, and this gets the whole thing with randoms, but I'm gonna go beside that. But you can have 5 random people with 5 random people. You know. Also, there's another mode which allows you to play with your friend list, so you can create a squad. And with that, it's even cooler because you can play 11 versus 11. 11 people versus 11 people. So 22 connected systems all together. I never actually got that big, but I know you can do that. But the most I've gotten, we had 6 people playing all at once on the same team. And then another team had about 4 to 5 people playing. And man, it's pretty fun, man. It's pretty fun being able to do that. You know, talking smack to your boys because they miss the header or they keep missing the open pass and stuff like that, and be able to do it with all 7 people. You know, that's legit. It's pretty fun, man. I like doing that. And so that was one of my things that I did. So, and also what's really cool, and I think he has done a great job, is there's like no lag while you're playing. Like it feels the exact same way online as does offline, which is to me is a compliment. That's a great accomplishment. So I've been playing that. I've picked The Witcher back up. Been playing that, playing a little 2K, and still playing Overwatch. Like that's my whole. I think I've put in maybe over 200 hours in Overwatch, probably more than that. Like I said, man, it's a great game, man. I always go back to it. It's something real fun to play. It's, to me, like I said, it's still the best shooter out there right now.
Okay, that's what's up, man. That sounds like you back from London, really getting it in with the gaming.
Trying to, man, when life ain't bothering me.
Right. So, all right, that's K-Bum. Jedi Knight, what you been gaming on, man?
Actually, I just purchased 3 games. The latest one that I've been playing is Batman, the Telltale series. I also picked up Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series. I'm on episode 5 of the Batman game. So once I finish that, it'll be complete. Guardians of the Galaxy, there's still only 1 episode out. I haven't really gotten into that yet. I played for about the first 5 minutes just to get the feel of it, then put it back down. And the third game that I purchased was BioShock Infinite. And I played about 15 minutes of that, but Batman pretty much consumed my time. So that's pretty much what I've been playing.
So you didn't get the collection edition with the BioShock?
Nah, I only got Infinite.
Okay.
Yeah, I did see it, but I just decided with the cash that I had, what other games, and I noticed that I really liked the Telltale series. And from RIP, I was getting the Batman game and Guardians of the Galaxy, and I had the extra cash. I didn't have enough for the collection, but I had enough to pick up Infinite. And I've played BioShock 2, and I don't know.
You should play the first one.
Should I?
Yeah. That's,
all right.
That's easiest. To me, easily the best game in the series. I never finished 2 because it wasn't that good. But BioShock 1, yeah, man, that was one of the game changing, one of the games that changed the industry. Was that they did they did shooters really, really well, because it wasn't a dumb shooter, it was a smart shooter. And so you use environments, you use the different powers, you can put them together and make combos. Yeah, very intelligent shooter.
All right, then I'll have to check that out. I haven't really dove that far into Infinite. Like I said, I've just been dealing with Batman, and that's almost done. And a game that you guys know I purchased a couple of months back was Uncharted. I finally finished Uncharted 1, and I'm now on Uncharted 2. I'm about 20% in. So that's pretty much what I've been gaming on. I'm on like the total retro throwback right now.
Legit.
Okay. That's what's up. So that leaves me. I've been playing Street Fighters, Ultra Street Fighters 2, HD. I think the HD remake, but I don't think that's what they call it on the Switch. But I've been playing that. Also got a chance to play that ARMS Global Punch Fire, which is basically the same thing they did for Splatoon. Basically the testers, I guess, test their what do you call that?
Online
infrastructure. Yeah, test the online and all the dedicated servers if they got them, and stuff like that. So I checked that out. I
like them doing that. I like them doing that. I think that's
it's dope.
It's exposure to the game. I think it's pretty good. I like them doing that.
Oh yeah. First of all, ARMS, and we'll get into a little bit more depth because this is one of our topics, so we can start. ARMS to me is a good game, but it got a huge learning curve. It's not something that you could just you could pick up and play. Don't get me wrong, but the motion controls are legit. Let me say that. It does what it says it's going to do. It's not like when you first touch the Wii remote and nunchuck and you think you can do certain gestures. And then, I don't know if y'all ever played Red Steel, the original, where it wasn't one-to-one. It wasn't really replicating what your movements were actually doing. It had set movements and set gestures that it recognized. Anything that wasn't in that direct movement, it didn't recognize. So they definitely.
Yeah. I remember people were.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Because the trailer showed 1-to-1, but the game never did.
Nah, the game was not 1-to-1. The game was basically it had script. If you did it like the game wanted you to do it, then it registered. But if you didn't, then it was all over the place and losing calibration and losing with the spot where you was actually aiming at, all that would get off. But anyway, going back to arms, the motion controls is right on. I mean, it's scary spot on. And that's why I said the learning curve is challenging because you can't cheat. Like, there's no aspect of it that you're controlling with the analog sticks. You can't, I mean, unless you're using the Pro Controller and you're not using motion controls, which I don't know why anybody would do that. But when you move left to right or back and forward, you literally like you controlling it's almost like you, the best way I can describe it is driving, but you're not driving. But like if you want to move left, you got to literally turn both Joy-Cons to the left. And you know, depending on how hard you turn to the left, how hard you turn it right is determined speed, then back and forward, all that. So a lot of times I felt myself scooting up or walking forward because I wasn't watching how I was holding my controllers. So as I had a tendency to want to rest my hands forward, which made the controllers tilt forward. And I kept scooting up like it's one part that you playing volleyball because they randomly did it. So you get in this like lobby and there's a whole bunch of different other players from around the world in this lobby, and the computer just randomly pick different scenarios for you to compete in. So one, it might be one-on-one and you fighting this dude one-on-one. And then as you build up points, the more wins you get 3 points. A loss gets you 1 point. So as you build up points, the people who had the most points end up getting into the computer will automatically place you in battles with people with more points to see who was better amongst that group. So so you start off with 0, and as I was playing through, you'll randomly get into one-on-one. Then the next fight, they might pull you in a 2 versus 2 tag team, and then they might pull you in a 4 on 4. I mean, 4 you facing 3 other people, but you're on your own. It's just a free for all, but against 4 components. But it's a free for all. So I didn't even know how to switch to different characters. Like my focus, like I ended up focusing on one character the whole time because I didn't know how to switch to take my focus off this character and move over here. Sometimes it worked to my benefit. Other times,
so you didn't know how to switch on your Switch.
No, bro, I didn't know how to switch on the Switch. So what happened was I don't think I read the tutorials and everything like I should have. I kind of read the basics and kind of like, oh, I got it. I'm good. So the first few times I played, I didn't know how to dodge. I didn't know how. It was confusing, man. But it was so accurate that I had to figure it out real quick. But I would say it's a good game. I had a whole bunch of fun playing it. I just missed the last one because I went out to eat after church, so I didn't get a chance to come and check out the one that they just had at 1 o'clock my time, 2 o'clock Eastern. But it's legit, man. They have volleyball. I never got a chance to play the basketball one because that one never showed up in mine. But we played volleyball. We played 2 versus 2. Then we played a 4, basically free for all, where all 4 of us is in there and we beating each other up like WWE stuff. It was pretty good, man. Never had any real for real glitches with the online aspect. Maybe a few slowdowns here and there. Never had any dropped games. Like I said, a few slowdowns, but nothing egregious, nothing unexpected with online play. But I didn't get a chance to do the voice chat, which they ain't have it in there. I don't know if that's going to be available when the game come out or not, which we're going to talk about that, K-Bomb, eventually when we get there. But I would say, man, ARMS has great appeal to me. I can definitely see this game as an Evo, what's that, esports type of.
Whoa.
I can see that, bro. No, I kid you not. Go ahead.
Whoa.
Look,
hold on, player.
I'm saying it right here, man. I see esports with this title, dude.
As an
I do, K-Bomb.
As an esport?
Esports.
Like when people are getting paid to compete. Like this ain't.
Yes.
Any game cannot just make esports. Like Evo. Like any game.
This is esports.
Like they take that stuff.
You're right.
Some games they take off the list because the game makers either don't fix bugs or they don't take it serious and they remove it or it never makes it onto the Evo list. They don't just pick a game just because it's popular.
I know.
Saying that now. Understand what you're saying.
Listen to me. I'm finna explain to you why. It's literally like control. Move car out your mind. Like, have you ever seen how they control like helicopters and stuff like that?
Yeah. You're talking about, the race helicopters when they race and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the controls are so spot on. Like the way you manipulate when you punch and curve, when you everything dodging, blocking, and the technique between the different arms and the different, you got the boxing glove, you got different defenses. Certain arms work better in certain scenarios. You can switch them up. And dude, I'm telling you, man, the competitive aspect of this game is very, 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 very different. And I can definitely see, because I played one, I got pretty high. Let me brag a little bit. Let level head brag here for a second here. I was one of the highest ones in my group doing my thing against 10 other components, and I was the second one with the most highest points, right? So I thought I was cold until I ran up into this Moo or whatever this dude name was from Japan or whatever, and he owned my tail. And he was doing stuff, man, that I could not figure out how he was doing all that this early. Like, it was crazy, dude. Like, he was dodging. I couldn't hit him for nothing. He was slamming me. He was fading me. He was misleading me to think he was gonna punch this way and he catch me over here. Like, man, it was retarded how precise and how he was moving, and I just could not catch him. And I only can see as folks get that good. Dude, I'm telling you, this is esports ready title. It's different. It's different, but I believe this type of game with the motion control, this is the first motion control game that I believe is ready for esports. Kid you not.
Man, you should see my face right now. I
wish I could.
K-Bomb hit you with that Nate dog. He was like, hold up.
I know, man. Look. That's why I wish Keith was here. He said he wanted to be here to talk about it, but he didn't want to be disrespectful to his company.
They're just now, like, major games like 2K and Madden are just now becoming major esport players.
I agree.
Like just last year, Madden became big in esports, and this year now, 2K is becoming sponsored by the NBA, and Madden has been running tournaments for years, but it was not a part of the esports community, which is that they take themselves serious.
Because I'm telling you, the reason I'm saying is esports ready. I'm not saying it's going to happen right off. I'm saying it's esports ready, and it's bringing a whole different interaction that no other game in esports can bring, because it's all, and I believe they should force everybody to be motion control based. And I'm telling you, man, this game is the first game that I played with motion controls that is spot on with it. Outside of VR, VR.
I'm just waiting for you to tell me that 1-2 switch is esports ready too. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm just
no, man. You gotta be funny. I'm serious though. I'm dead serious, man.
I feel you.
I believe this game
I gotta see it for
Yeah.
myself. I'll get my hands on it before I get an opinion. Because any opinion I give is an opinion without actually playing it, and so that's why I'm trying to stay away from me saying what I think about the game, and that's why I've been just talking about the esports community, not about what I think about the game.
Well, I'm gonna say this: I had my reservations about the game. I mean, watching it, and I said it many times in the podcast. I think it's one of those games you have to play to appreciate it. You can't appreciate it by watching it. Playing it gave me a whole, I'm like, wow, this is actually fun. Like, cause there's no chills, there's no moment where you can chill and be confident. Because depending on the arms that the dude that you or the female that you facing off against has, determines how you got to approach them. Like, I don't know all the names of the characters yet, but this one dude, he kind of like liquidy. And he weird. I can't think of his name right now. But later on, if y'all know the name of who I'm talking about,
yeah, I know you're talking about. He's like green or something like that, right?
Yeah, he green. But anyway, he has one arm that is basically a shield. It basically blocks all your advances, all your punches. Then he has another arm that is like a goo, liquidy based arm. And if he punch you right on, it throws gook on your screen, so you can't even see. And it's hard to fight if somebody got a good is good with them. It's hard to beat them. And I was using Master Mummy. That's who I like. I like Master Mummy. Master Mummy got an arm that it don't matter what you throw. If I throw my arm, it's gonna go through all your advances. It's so big, it's just gonna plow. It's like a bulldozer. It's just gonna plow through your arms and literally render your arms useless. Like, it'll damage your arms to where you gotta avoid that particular arm. And then I had this other arm that kind of shot out like 3 different arms out of it that would hit you 3 different times. It didn't take a lot of energy, but it was with both of those arms, with my main arm being my left arm being my main punch, and then my right arm being like my jab and my quick evasive tactic and maneuver. I was really owning folks with that combination. But then I ran up against Mimi or whatever her name was, and it was a Japanese dude, and he had his arm set. He had a snake slap type arm, and he had the dragon laser shooter, so he can stay distance from me. I could never get to him, and he would just light me up. And the way that he was able to dodge and move and maneuver, I wasn't that advanced yet, so I couldn't really. I had nothing coming with this dude. I'm telling you, man, there's so many interchangeable ways to interact, and that's not even all the different arms that you can use, and that's not all the skills that you can do once you really learn how to manipulate the motion controls or the gameplay. It was dope, man. I kid you not. I see esports all on this game in a way that maybe we ain't never seen an esports type of game because it's motion control based. Honestly, I do. I really do. So that was one game I played. So
okay.
We're a little long on that. So the other game I played was Ultra Street Fighters 2 for the Switch. I bought that yesterday. Surprisingly couldn't find it at many stores. A lot of stores was just out of it, sold out. But I found it at Target. They had 2 left. I like it. I like the game. But after you play like Third Strike and Street Fighters 4 and now Street Fighters 5, even though this game is fun and I'm enjoying it, I be finding myself wanting to see some of the new characters that we came across, like a lot of the characters in Street Fighters 4 and 5, and a lot of the skill sets and the moves and the different abilities that Ryu and Ken and other characters have gained over those games. You know, this is basically the original Street Fighters with Fei Long and T-Hawk and Kami and all them. But I enjoyed it. It's a good game. The online was cool. Some of my gameplay online was kind of sluggish, depending on the strength.
Suspect.
Huh?
Oh, you said sluggish.
What you
Okay. I thought you were saying your play was
Yes.
suspect.
Nah, my play wasn't sluggish. I was owning cats. I got whooped one time, but I won all my other ones. But it was kind of draggy, little laggy, and like I said, that could have been based on either my Wi-Fi setup or the person I was playing Wi-Fi. It wasn't all the fights wasn't like that, but a few of them were. But I mean, I definitely don't think it was worth. I think they should have made it $29.99. That would have been, I think, an ideal price. $39.99 was a little steep for what they're giving you, but I do like
they giving you a game that was made in the 90s. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I got it anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, I bought Street Fighters 5, bro. So I can't talk. It's better than Street Fighters on the PlayStation because they don't have no arcade mode. None. Anyway,
hey,
so
why you talking, bro? I'm gonna go ahead and say this while this is on my mind. You talking about Street Fighter? My game will be out in the
Tekken 7.
Will be out next month, and it is on and popping.
You're talking about Tekken 7, right?
Sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir. I'm about to send my game fly back so I can get this Tekken, so I can get this work in, learn my moves again, and it's gonna be on.
Yeah, so we can get it in on that Tekken. I still got my my online service for the PlayStation 4, and I'll get Tekken 2.
For
I'm
sure.
gonna have to figure out how I'm. But anyway, make a long story short about Street Fighter because I've been going on for a while.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have priced it about $29.99 would have been a fair price. I think $39 is not fair, but if you want a fighting game of this magnitude, this is what you got for right now. So I ain't gonna tell you not to buy it. I think it's a good game. I like the HD overhaul better than the original. It does give it a flair. The online works. I owned a few people last night.
I have a question for that about that though.
Yeah, go ahead, Jedi.
Do you think it's worth the $40 though? Is it $40 worth the awesomeness? I mean, because this is a 25-year-old game. I was pretty surprised that they released this game for $40.
Is it worth $40? Man, you put me on the spot.
I mean, it doesn't have to mean that because you thought it was a little expensive, or maybe it's not expensive to you, that it's not a fun game.
It's expensive.
I think Street Fighter 2 will
now,
forever be fun. But man, when I heard $40, I'm like, dude, this is Street Fighter 2. What are you doing, bro?
I would say this. No, it's not. It should not be $39.99 or $40 and some change. No, it shouldn't be. Let me just put that out there. Right. So what you're getting is a great game that's overpriced. But I would say this: the online component, being able to fight online with it, even though they can do that on the other one, that it kind of. No, it's not worth. It's not. It's not worth $39.99. $29.99, yes. $39.99. If you buy it because you really want the game, it's not because it's really worth that price, but you want that experience. So I wanted the experience. I wanted the game, so I went on and bought it. But if I be honest, no, it's not. It's not. It should not be $39.99. I just be honest.
All right.
That's the best way I can answer it. But it's a good game. I'm having more fun with it than Street Fighter 5, which was $60. But
do you play with the Pro controller, or like how does it work with the?
I'm glad you said that. I play with the Pro controller, but people need to stop lying and saying that you can't play it or it's not really playable with the Joy-Cons and the way that D-pad is. That's a lie, man.
You always lying.
It's a lie, dude. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna be honest. I can pull off juggles on the D-pad on the Joy-Con better than the D-pad on the Pro controller. It's just like the PlayStation 4's D-pad was back in the day. If you could play Street Fighter on the D-pad on the PlayStation 3, or the PlayStation 2, you could play Street Fighters on the Switch Joy-Con grip setup. People need to stop. Now, if you get into the triggers and the left and right, and then the LZ right, yeah, them a little uncomfortable. But the D-pad, just because it's not the traditional Nintendo D-pad, is not obstructing your ability to pull off a Hadouken or a roundhouse. Matter of fact, it's actually easier. Unless I'm just that good. I don't know, but I pull them off no problem. So I wish people will stop acting like the D-pad is just not doable. It's fine, man. But yeah, it's fine on the D-pad. But to answer your original question, Jedi, the pricing is a little much in my opinion. Let's be real.
I did hear that there's more content on this game than what the PS4 got for Street Fighter V. Is that true?
Yeah. Twice as much. As much. But again, it's still this game came out on a Super NES, bro. I was 13 in the arcade playing this game. So still should not be no $39.99. I think $29.99 should have been as far as they went. $19.99 would have been perfect. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
But to going on to that, let's get into this one aspect, and I think K-Bum want to talk about this because he had a back and forth on Twitter with the guy, and I'm gonna use this to set it up. I had to do a update to play online, and there's still no voice chat available. At least I haven't experienced it. So I don't know if it's voice chat in the game or not, but I ain't hear nobody talking to me, and I ain't see no option to talk to anybody, which in some cases I probably wouldn't have wanted to talk to anybody, but I feel like the option should be there. And now I'm finding out that you cannot, in Splatoon 2, when voice chat is available, you will not be able to chat with no one that is not in your friends list. And I feel like that is problematic. I feel like this is a bad move on Nintendo's part. And before I give my rant and Jedi gives his rant about it, I'm gonna let K-Bum 20 go ahead and give his 2 cents on this, man. Go ahead, bro.
All right. So let me hop into this. Let me not play around too much. Let me hop into this. So the biggest thing is this. Understand that we've been doing voice chat since Xbox Live. And even the PS2 towards the end of its cycle had online gameplay. We've been doing voice chat since then. There is a saying that open voice chat has been dying, or is kind of a way of the past. In some aspects, I do believe that, but I think there are some games that still need it. Personally, I don't do a lot of open voice chat, except for Overwatch. The reason why Overwatch that I usually what I'm doing on my PS4, I'm in a private chat with a bunch of my friends, and we're usually talking no matter what game we play for. Overwatch is the only game that I say in the private chat, hey guys, I'm about to go to game chat and talk to the people in the game. The reason why I do that is because you cannot, in Overwatch, I'm playing the competitive mode, you have to coordinate your attacks. You have to coordinate your ultimate abilities. You have to coordinate your defense. And if you don't coordinate, it's not always the best team that has the best players that win. It's usually the team that has coordinated the best attack is the team that wins. And so with that understanding, I usually, a majority of the times, I put my headset on and I talk to people that I play with. And since the game is 6-on-6, most of the times I'm usually playing by myself. The reason why I play by myself also in Overwatch is because if my team of 6 or team of 5 isn't a good team of 5, I can run against a really good team of 5, and we'll just get mollywopped and just beat bad. And so I usually single queue is what they call it, or dual queue with my brother, to join other 5 or 4 groups of people. And so what I'm saying that is that without voice chat, being able to without voice chat with randoms, I would not be able to successfully play Overwatch at the level that's needed, which puts me at a disadvantage if I'm playing against a team of 6, a team of 4, because they can coordinate their attacks, but I can't coordinate mine with my team because if I'm unable to talk with randoms. And so the big issue becomes a policy of options. And the fact that Splatoon has made the decision that not to allow you to talk with randoms, to me becomes another problem, because what I see it as, and Levelhead kind of said on Twitter as well, he sees it as options. And I know some other people was on Twitter and said that they don't use it themselves, but they do like the fact that it's an option that you can do. And the fact that Splatoon doesn't do that, to me, is a little bothersome. Because what it starts to look like, and I know that a lot of Nintendo fans will say this and say that it's not. It starts to look like, Nintendo or Splatoon developers are making decisions for children, even though they say their system is not a system for children. And the fact that they disallow any conversation outside of your friend list is, to me, is a problem, because they're making a decision which is probably for a smaller group that's going to affect the whole group. And I understand, because if you grew up if you played online and talked online in the times where Call of Duty was king, you heard a lot of MFs and N words and everything else that you could think about when playing Call of Duty. But if you, my experience with Overwatch, that stuff is not there. And so I understand what would lead them down that path, but I still think that's a short-sighted decision. And I know I was going back and forth with somebody on Twitter, a decision that could allow you to, still give people options if they wanted to just by default mute all because Call of Duty, what Call of Duty did actually later on is that they gave you the ability to mute everybody, or you can mute everyone that wasn't in your chat. But they gave you the ability to do that. So you could just mute the people that were not in your chat, and you can play the game without hearing the N word being called every 5 seconds. But it was options, and that's the biggest thing. I think Nintendo is kind of missing it when they don't give you options and kind of decide that this is how it's going to be played. When we're talking about something as fundamental as voice chat, something we've been doing for 10, 15 years, and we're still questioning about that, and you're still, protecting people by making these decisions. And so to me, it's a bad decision. I don't like that, and if I was playing Splatoon, I wouldn't like, because I like playing with just random people. I like that because I don't like spending time just finding people. And the thing is, and I know Jedi said, I'm going to go ahead and end this, but Jedi was talking about first, I don't want to steal his bubble. I'll let him say a little bit more, but let him go in detail. But how can you really make friends if you can't talk to random people? So that's kind of how I was going with that, man. And I don't like it, but I know other people will make excuses for it and say that that it's legit. But that's my 2 cents about it.
All right, Jedi, what's your thoughts on this, man? With the continued situation with voice chat with Nintendo and seemingly making decisions that probably should be left up to the consumer or the gamer or the parents of those younger gamers. What's your thoughts?
K-Bomb is absolutely right. First of all, this is going to continue to happen because Nintendo fans continue to damage control stuff like this. When you can make excuses about situations like this and in effect make it okay, then you're giving Nintendo a message that this is okay for them to do. It's not. If this was something that Microsoft or Sony would do, a lot of us Nintendo fans would call them out on that, or hold that as some sort of indictment. When it's Nintendo, it's like, well, we don't really need those options anyway, because truth be told, we're not going to use them or create some excuse to why having this option is irrelevant when it's really not irrelevant. There's plenty of situations where you can see clear as day why having this option as a standard is relevant. As I was saying when we were offline, when I played Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops and Call of Duty, no, I don't think Modern Warfare Reflex had voice chat. When I played Black Ops, we had voice chat, and you can chat with strangers, and I was able to establish, friendships on there, and, enter and be a part of a clan with people who are all around the States that I never knew, never met, but through, that community, we got to know one another. I mean, the perfect example is the YouTube platform. The guys that I do podcasts with once a week, I didn't know you guys before this. Could you imagine if you couldn't speak to anybody on YouTube unless you were a subscriber to them, or you couldn't see their videos unless you were a subscriber to them? How can you subscribe to them if you've never seen their videos? You don't know their content. You don't know anything about them. It's an exercise in futility. If you cannot speak to people, then you can't really gauge whether you want to befriend them or not. Granted, you can play with them, but playing with them and getting to know people, sometimes someone could be a good player, but they got a crappy personality or a crappy attitude, and you don't really want to deal with them on that level, even though they're a good player. Or there's sometimes where you can play with a person who may not be the best player, but they may have a good personality or just a good teammate in general, and you can really rock with them. And another good example of that is when me and K-Bomb would play Battlefield. I was terrible in Battlefield because I'm so used to motion controls, and I'm not really that good with the analog sticks. And what I decided that I was going to do was I was going to be a support. I was going to be a medic, and every time K-Bomb would get shot, I would be the medic to get him back up. And we started winning.
I got shot a lot too, just let y'all know.
I mean, it wasn't too much, but for the record, I couldn't really help K-Bomb too much. I was hitting nothing but air, but I was a really good medic, and stuff like that works. Long story short, you shouldn't. It is 2017. 2017. We had voice chat for how many? I mean, since like 2002, 2001. I mean, even before that.
Yeah,
I remember having voice chat on my PlayStation 2 playing SOCOM.
Yeah, PS2, SOCOM had voice chat, and Xbox Live had voice chat.
Yeah, I mean, and back then, voice chat was basic. I remember you had to press a button to where you can then speak, and nobody else could speak when you were speaking. We had to wait in line to speak, and it's like Nintendo is on that road right now where they never really made the jump. There is no excuse for this. None. That's my 2 cents.
Well said, sir.
Thank you.
I agree, and I'm gonna use this as an example, and K-Bomb will resonate with this, and I don't know the audience will or the listeners will, and y'all can leave y'all thoughts in the comment section and here in the live chat. But with a game like Splatoon, it's based on teamwork, right? My first real entry into online communities and playing those type of games for real, not that I haven't played online before, but my real dedicated interaction with it was the Division on the PlayStation 4. And I remember sometimes we didn't have a full roster. It'd be me and K-Bomb, or it'd be me and King Cooper, or it'd be me, King Y'all, or me, King Cooper, and K-Bomb 20. And we would need one or two more players to fill out our team, because we want advance through these different scenarios and different aspects in the game where you had to conquer different set pieces in the game. So we would open it up to randoms. And K-Bomb, did we ever, in my time with you, and I never ran into a bad random.
Nah. One that couldn't play, but not one that was like.
Well, I was sometimes off the time the weakest link, so hey,
I wasn't gonna go there.
Yeah, I do it for myself before you go there, in a joke. But I go ahead and embarrass myself. But I never one time. Matter of fact, there was one random we picked up, and we actually became cool. All of us in that group became cool, and we went through a whole bunch of the different stages and the different situations that you had to beat. Like you would have a group trying to take over a bank or a group trying to take over this part, or you had to go down there and get things under control. Well, this one particular random jumped into one of our games. And he was real good, cool guy, talking and having a good time. And then another random jumped in, and we basically became like out of just these random individuals, we had like 6 players that we are saving our friends list based on the experience we had meeting them in random gameplay. That when we jumped on, we can go straight to their name and be like, hey, you free, you want to play? And then jump in our game, me, K-Bum, King Cooper, Jedi, I mean, not Jedi, but John Shaw at that time and other individuals. And I did the exact same thing with The Last of Us. Never one time did I have a bad experience with random. So now I'm pretty sure the Call of Duties and other games like that probably did create some, bad individuals, but to me, that should not. Right. So reason I use the division is because there's going to be scenarios where you're not going to have enough friends playing at the moment to be on your team. And right now, Nintendo has made it to where they went back to friend codes. And so I just can't, well, at least if you can, you have to tell me how to do it. I can't find all my friends from the Wii U. So I don't have near as many friends as I had when I was playing it, when I had my Wii U. So now I got about maybe 10 friends in my on my Switch, and most of them I do not know. I know Nia. I got what's old dude used to come on here with us? Quaman is on my friends list.
Yeah.
Keith Norris is on my friend list. And then everybody else on there, I don't really know that well. They just befriended me because I put my friend code up on Twitter and here on Facebook. I mean on YouTube. So they befriend me, and I, of course I friend them back. But outside of that, I don't have the, all the old guys that I used to have as friends when I was on the Wii U. So I wouldn't be able to talk to a Terminator Juice or a Mr. T or Alex or all these other different people that I know here on YouTube because they're not my friends. So to me, that's problematic. It should be based on you. And if you don't like what they're saying and what they're doing, give you the option to mute them. and there you go. It's problem solved.
What button is that? I don't think they know that there's a button that exists that does that yet. Is the mute button?
That's not even an excuse anymore. If Nintendo is really sitting down and discussing how they're going to limit voice chat because of what other people say, I mean, just stop making games then, or consoles or what have you, and just do something else to where you feel that you can provide the most in a space without having to limit yourself because of what other people are doing. The reason why Sony and Microsoft are so successful is because in many aspects, they can give a rat's behind what other people are doing. You should be able to self-govern yourself. And if you don't like something, then you can distance yourself from it. You can change lobbies. You can, not ban that person, but maybe you can, have an option to where you don't have to play in rooms with it. Like you can block that person, basically.
Hey, push block on them.
It's no need. I mean, to destroy a game that requires strategy because of what somebody may potentially say defeats the purpose of the game. And Splatoon, what you was talking about earlier, Leveled, about a game like ARMS being a what is that?
Esports.
Like a esports game. Like Splatoon could do that, but you can't have these type of issues when it comes to speaking, voice chat, not because of esports, but when you have those type of limitations, people who are already pessimistic about Nintendo games are not going to want to try it, but because they're going to look at it and say, well, look at this. Why would I want to spend my money when I can't even chat with people? So you're limiting yourself from trying to gain an audience that's already pessimistic about your product.
And you have to understand that, and that's why I've kind of said to Nintendo fans, and Nintendo fans would say, you know, we're fine without it. We don't need voice chat. We don't need voice chat. But that's also under the assumption that the only people that's going to buy the system are the same people that think like you. That's some of the assumptions that Nintendo have made in the past that has been very bad for them. And what I've said before is that Nintendo has to make decisions for people who are not Nintendo fans of Nintendo, so they can win fans that's not Nintendo fans. You know, if you keep making decisions for people who are only a fan of your game, you're only going to continue to have people that were fans of your game. But you make decisions that can help or, you know, can ease others over, then you're being broader, and then you can create a broader audience. But when you cater to only one particular audience, don't be upset when that's the only audience you have left.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, and then we'll move on because it's something I think Jedi Knight would love to talk about. I'll say this. I think Nintendo with the Switch is doing great. Let's say that right now. It's still doing great. This is just one isolated, but could potentially be an issue if Nintendo don't handle it right. But with the success and the momentum that Nintendo has built up with the Switch, these type of issues should not be issues. And you should not create anything that's going to cause people to, like you said, Jedi, and K-Bum, that's already leery or on the fence that might be seeing what the Switch is doing and how successful it is, might be like, man, I really want that. And then they find out stuff like this is like, why? Like, you know, and again, Nintendo is kind of misjudging his own fan base because a lot of the people that's buying the Switch are not necessarily kids. So give us the option and pray that the kids got responsible parents to why give parents control? Okay, and I don't y'all comment because I want to go to another thing. But why give
because I wanted to touch on that parents thing, but I'm gonna hold off then.
No, go ahead. No, I'm gonna let you, but let me say this and I'll let you touch on. Then we're gonna go to something I think Jedi gonna like. Why give parents this very cool app on their phone where you can literally turn the Switch off from your phone if your kids are playing too long? You can literally monitor what your kids been playing from the app. Why give them that app and then still on your own terms monitor what can and can't do, and don't give that household, that consumer, that gamer, that owner the option to do it or not to do it? Shouldn't that be our choice? That's my point.
That's exactly what I said in the comment section. I said that should be a choice that a parent should be able to make, to turn off. If you're afraid of that, then the parent should be able to turn off the ability to talk to strangers or talk to friends. And case closed, we're done.
I got one to even add to that. Now this is an issue, but we haven't paid for online yet. What's going to happen when people are actually paying Nintendo to play games online? Are you telling me that I'm going to pay you for a monthly or yearly subscription to pay online, and then you're still going to limit me in this fashion? It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, you're right. I ain't thinking about that. If I'm paying for the online, I should have control of how I interact online.
Like, if we're not paying for it, then you can do what you want.
Outside of criminal stuff, I should have. Yeah, if I'm paying for it, as long as I'm not doing criminal like stuff, I should have the right to chat with whomever I want to chat with. I agree with that wholeheartedly. So let's go here, man. So and this brings me back to a debate you had, Jedi Knight, with Mr. 720 Zaire.
Oh, my dude.
So yeah. So the Switch, and we're gonna move on. We ain't gonna just talk about Nintendo, but we're gonna go some other places.
We're not? Wow, yay.
Look at him. Anyway, so the Switch, so Unreal Engine 4 has been basically fully supported for the Switch. The Switch has full support with Unreal Engine 4. And I'll add this in there because there's a lot of stuff we missed since we went off for 2 weeks. With the whole new Rabbids and Mario game with Ubisoft, that's running off the Snowdrop engine. So, do you wish you could have another debate with Zaire?
Whoa, Snowdrop is over on
yeah.
Snowdrop running. Oh, nice. That's a division.
Yeah, the same game that's running on the division is actually pushing this new Mario Rabbids game.
Yeah,
now
engine. Yeah.
So Snowdrop. So Unreal Engine 4 is fully supported for the Switch. Snowdrop is running on the Switch. We've seen that what's their name? Square Enix is really loving the Switch. Capcom said that they have the new Resident Evil 7 running on the Switch, and they bringing over this is big, Monster Hunter XX from the 3DS, porting it over to the Switch. But going back to the debate you had with Zaire, saying that these type of engines and games couldn't be ported. What would you say now if you could have that debate again?
Well, I would let the situation speak for itself. Really, I would be silent and then let him try to defend that. This is what I was trying to explain to him. I never said that I felt like the graphics fidelity will be absolutely on par with whatever the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One was bringing. But what Zaire was trying to say was this is going to be like the Xbox 60, Nintendo Wii generation. No, it's not. And with the 360 and the Wii, you can see clearly the generation gap with the games, right? If you played Call of Duty on the 360 and then you looked at Call of Duty on the Wii, you can tell that it was an obvious generational gap. What you're going to have here is just different levels where for example, the PlayStation 4 will probably be on high settings and the Switch will be on medium settings. It's not a generational gap. It's just a settings difference. And at the end of the day, the Switch is capable of playing these games. And what you also have to think about is if, for example, if the PlayStation 4 is playing on high settings and the Switch is playing on medium settings, the Switch also has the capability of lowering the resolution as well because it has a 720p screen. Well, the 720p, I think, is 4 times less resolution than 1080p, if I'm correct, right? So,
something like that.
Yeah, it's something to that effect. I think it's 4 times. I could be wrong, but that means that you have 4 times less resolution on a handheld, but it looks great on the handheld, and you have on medium settings. So it's something that you can take that is portable. And then once you dock it, then you'll still be on medium settings, but then you can bump it up to about, 900p or whatever the case may be. And, what's so crazy is that my boy Zaire, love him to death, he acts like this doesn't happen with these quote unquote current generation consoles. The Xbox One, especially him being an Xbox fan, Microsoft does the same exact thing. You can have a game that is 720p native on a PlayStation 4, and it's not native on the Xbox One. It's 900p. So how is it that the Xbox One can get away with this, but all of a sudden with the Switch, it's they're playing shenanigans, and it's just crazy. But I am glad that the what is it, the Teardrop engine, K-Bomb?
Snowdrop.
The Snowdrop.
The Snowdrop engine is coming. One thing that I would like to hear from E3, and I think this is crazy important because if we don't hear this, I'm gonna be upset. We need that the engine for Madden 18 and FIFA, the Frostbite engine. We do need that.
That's the only one that I don't think has been fully said whether it can run on the Switch or not. But I'm perceiving it.
Yeah, I haven't heard a thing about Frostbite yet. And truthfully, I don't want to have a situation where, the PlayStation, Microsoft brand are getting these sports games, and they're running those games on the Frostbite engine, and then the Switch is stuck with the Unity engine, or not the Unity engine, the Infinite engine. And what is that going to do for the game? The Ignite. Thank you. What is that going to do? For example, with Madden 18, and they have story mode. Are we going to get story mode for the Switch? I don't think that this is going to be a problem for the Switch. But then again, you never know, man. A lot of times it's just a toss up. Sometimes with Nintendo.
Yeah. K-Bob, what's your thoughts on this, man? Are you shocked that, which they already said that was going to be the case, but it was believed that was going to be the case, but now that Unreal Engine 4 is fully supported by the Switch, and Snowdrop engine basically running on the Switch. What's your thoughts?
I'm impressed. I'm impressed that Nintendo was actually able to put all of this in this little device. Like, that's impressive, man. Like, we need to give props where props is due. The fact that they can give us a system, give us something that is this portable, this small. I know Levelhead, you had some heat issues, but that wasn't due to the actual playing of the game. That was something else.
No.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not gonna dwell on it. Give us this kind of system, which is like we said before, it can play the games, but on a lower resolution, which is a lower quality, but still play the same games. That's highly impressive, man. When you look at how big and bulky the Xbox One is, and you look at you just have the PS Slim, but it's still not like the Switch, it's not portable. You take it out, it's impressive, man. And so I have to get Nintendo props. They delivered on games. Not games, sorry. They deliver on the fact that you can play these games on this system, and the fact that it's portable. And it's like the guy was saying, like Jack Gates was saying in the comments, it's not the same difference when you look at the Wii to the 360 than you see when you look at the Switch to the Xbox One and PS4. The Switch, when you look at it, you say, "Oh, that's a nice looking game. Oh, that looks nice."
Right.
You don't look at it and say, "Oh my God, it's not a PS4," or "Oh my God, that'll never look good on 360." I mean, you don't on the Xbox One. You don't say that anymore. But when you saw Wii games, you kind of cringe a little. I know I did. I cringed when you see all those jaggies on the screen playing the Wii game and just the low resolution. I couldn't get past it. That's one reason why I never had a Wii. I could not get past the graphics. It just wouldn't let me. But when I look at the Switch, and I've said before, Zelda looks amazing. It looks amazing. It's a very attractive looking game, especially the art direction.
Which game was that?
Zelda.
Oh,
Zelda.
okay, yeah.
Heck yeah, it looks good. And if I had Zelda right now on my PS4, I probably would play it. Well, probably not, because I still haven't played Horizon. I'm still trying to play Witcher. So I probably would have it, but I wouldn't be playing it.
Right, and we finding out, and I'm glad Jedi is here, because these engines running on this chip. We finding out that this chip was more capable than originally believed. They starting to say that actually they don't really know what the chip can or can't do. So we're yet to really see the full grunt to what this thing can do. And the NVIDIA Shield was not a measuring stick of what that chip could actually do. Maybe the design of the NVIDIA Shield was limited to that, but maybe not the actual chip. What do you have to say to that, Jedi?
I agree. When you have a dedicated console that, you can, get down to the metal, and you don't have to worry about some generic operating system like Android, being on top of that hardware in order to run the games, then you're able to get better performance. I still would have preferred a Pascal version of the chip, but we didn't get that. At the end of the day, K-Bomb was impressed with a game like Zelda, and lo and behold, Zelda is running at 900p and not 1080p. You know, if we could have had a situation where that game was running at 1080p, it would have looked even more awesome. Maybe not by much, but it is what it is. I think overall, though, the Switch being basically a tablet, it is phenomenal what it is doing. We sometimes argue back and forth so much about the technical aspects of things, and we get into that battling of who has the best hardware and not really seeing the form factor. It is phenomenal, that Nintendo Switch, what it's capable of doing.
Right. And the reason I brought that up too, where I was actually that, is because, like with K-Bomb saying he thought Zelda looked good, you got to take into account that was a Wii U game ported over to the Switch with not much of the assets really changed. It was just, like you said, Jedi, bumped up to 900p and maybe more stable. But outside of that, it's really just the Wii U game running on the Switch. But if you see a game like you had to see ARMS in motion, ARMS is a good looking game. Like ARMS look freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's finally a game that is built from the bottom up for the Nintendo Switch.
Right.
All of the games that we've had so far are basically ports.
Right. ARMS look ridiculous, man. I could easily see ARMS on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4. It's literally that quality. It doesn't look like it looks good. It's ridiculous. So anyway, I'm shocked by. I wasn't shocked by the Unreal Engine announcement. I'm just like, when I found out that new Mario, and that's true. We so late on that, there ain't no point in even going into it. We've been talking about Nintendo for a good minute now, so I want to kind of shift a little bit to something that brings all the companies in. Looking at the fact that it can run Snowdrop, it can run Unreal Engine 4 completely. It can run what is that? The other one. Did you name it earlier? Unity. It can run that.
Ignite.
And that one. And then I'm pretty sure it can run Frostbite. I'm pretty sure it can. So it's the verdict is out on what this thing can and can't do. And I'm starting to see a lot of developers changing their tune. I believe even Destiny, even with what now, I think Destiny whole thing was I think the online services
don't get me talking. Don't talk about them. They can't even get 1080p on the PS4. I don't know what they're doing over there. Yeah. 60 frames per second. Yeah. 60 frames per second on the PS4. I don't even on the Pro.
Ain't that the PS4 Pro? The Pro, right?
It's not even on the Pro. I'm like, what are y'all doing there? I don't know.
Lazy, man. Lazy. And know that they're gonna make money anyways. They ain't got to. They're gonna make money either way it goes. So why spend the extra resources to get it to run at 60 when you gonna make the same amount of money with it running at 30? Because that fan base is gonna justify everything that they do for the most part. So, but anyway, you're right. I forgot about that. But let's switch to this, man. E3 is literally, we have what? Is it the week after next?
We got the next, man. That Monday. Oh, that's Sunday. Sunday starts.
Yeah, so we literally 2 weeks away from E3. A lot of stuff with Nintendo has been leaking. That's why I said it's so much. We 2 weeks being out of the game for 2 weeks, we just missed it, I feel like. But just found out that not Kingdom Hearts. What was that game? Final Fantasy VII has been delayed. And there was another game pushed into 2018. What's that? Something that was supposed to come out this year that's got delayed to 2018 for I don't know if it's Xbox or Sony. But what
Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption. Yeah. So that's got delayed. So let me ask this, man. and I ain't got the chance to ask this with Jedi on, so we can go here. E3, first of all, with the changes in E3, are you expecting much from this year's E3, Jedi?
Well, I expect much from E3 every year, only because I follow it. So, I hope that there's something to follow. I think that E3 isn't quote unquote dead. At the end of the day, third parties, they respect E3,
Right.
So even if Nintendo doesn't show up and do a conference, if Microsoft decides that they're gonna do like a pre-release of the Scorpio and it's not going to be on the stage yet, they'll probably still do their conference, but they're going to release a lot of important information about what they're going to be doing in the future. If Sony does something opposite, at the end of the day, you're still going to have conferences from EA. You're still going to have well, maybe not Blizzard. I think Blizzard does their own thing, but Activision and so forth. It's E3 is big. And I do expect to hear a lot of third-party releases in the future. So, yeah, most definitely.
Okay. K-Bun.
Am I expecting anything different with the layout that they can actually have the public there? I've been going back and forth, and I think this E3 may be very similar, just because I don't know that these companies really know what to expect with an open audience. So I don't think that they've really went all out to really change some things because of the open audience, because they don't really know what to expect or how different it's actually going to be, because they're so used to catering towards just the editorial editors and journalists and stuff like that. So I don't think they know that. I think if any big difference changes we're going to see is going to be in the next E3, where it's probably next E3 probably going to be bigger, better, and better, maybe, especially when Scorpio is out there and whatever Sony is trying to put out now. I don't know why. So yeah, but I don't really think there's going to be too much. That when you look at this E3, I think it's going to look very similar to the last E3s. That's my take.
Okay. All right. So let's get into this, man. Do you think, like, now? I don't know if this. I don't know this answer. Y'all might know. Since E3 is opened up to the public, do those same individuals have access to the conferences? Is that opened up to the public, or is that still the same? Like,
no. I think E3 itself, as in the actual convention, is open to the public. I do not believe. Okay. I don't know if those conferences, because those are not the actual convention. It is different.
Yeah, that's not actually E3. That's just a part of. That's just added into the whole E3 spectacle, basically. When you say the conferences, it's for E3, but it's not. It's not where E3 is.
Your ticket doesn't really buy you that. When I'm thinking. Right.
Okay, so basically, the nuance with letting the public in won't really change the conferences. Then shouldn't affect the conferences. Basically,
that's what I'm leaning towards. I'm leaning towards that.
Okay.
You also understand that you have people like, I don't know if you know what EA is doing, because EA is doing their own thing. With EA Play, where they're it's open to the public for them as well, but they kind of say, we're going to show our own games to our people who we want to show, and the public we want to show to, and we want to do it on our terms without time. So that they kind of bypass E3 by itself, all in all, and just do it their way.
Right. Yeah. So let me ask this, and I'll start with Jedi. What are you expecting from Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo? But go in the order you choose. But what do you expect, and what do you expect? What do you believe, and what do you hope they would do? I asked you those three different ways. What do you expect them to do? What do you believe they will do? And what do you hope they would do?
All right. Well, I expect that Microsoft is gonna fully unveil the Scorpio, and I expect Sony to announce some sort of new hardware. I don't think it'll be what a lot of people have been stating, like a portable Sony device, like a Vita 2. I think we're gonna get a slim version of the PS4 Pro. And for Nintendo, I expect them to give us specific details on the online aspect, a price, and maybe some first party games, and as well, which is really important. I do expect this. A lot of third party support, like within their conference, or Treehouse, presentation, or direct presentation, whatever they're going to be calling it this year. I expect that. What I believe will happen is that Nintendo will not have a lot of third party announcements. They will have a lot of first party stuff. Sony will indeed announce a PlayStation 4 Pro Slim, and I do believe that we will see a lot from the Scorpio. What I hope is for Microsoft that we'll be able to not just see Scorpio, like the hardware itself. I hope that people are able to play it, right? For Sony, I hope that there is indeed, I would assume it would be great to see a PlayStation Vita 2. That would be something that would be surprising. I don't expect that, but it'll be cool if they did that. And I do believe that Nintendo will also be showing some hardware. I think that we've talked for so long about this computing device, the supplemental computing device. I think that is real. I think it's real. And I think because Sony already has a PlayStation 4 Pro out, and Microsoft is announcing or unveiling the Scorpio, I think Nintendo needs to do something with that supplemental computing device. I think it's real, and I think there's a possibility that we'll hear about it as well.
Okay. All right. K-Bomb, same question. What do you expect them to do? What do you believe they would do? And what do you hope they would do?
That's a lot of questions. Hold on. All right. You said hope? Let me.
I said expect, believe. Like, what do you expect them to do? Like, based on that pattern, and kind of expect and believe is kind of intertwined. And then, what do you hope they would do?
Okay, expect, hope. I just did those two because that's a lot of questions you asked me. Okay, cool. What I expect from Sony, I expect them to show me games that I won't see for another 2-3 years. I expect them to continue to try to to show you splashy games and big event games, which they've always done. Spectacular big event, spectacular set piece games. I expect to see more of some of the stuff they showed last year without release dates. So I expect to see some more Days Gone without a release date, more God of War without a release date. What else? A major game? Yeah, those probably ones I expect to see without a release date. I expect them to give me release dates for Spider-Man. I think they gave release a date already for the Uncharted ones. I believe they already did that. And so that's what I kind of expect them to do. Definitely expect them to show more IPs because they're still producing IPs, which is good. They are kind of venturing things out, and I expect them to have some kind of partnership with some third party. Because last time they came out there, they showed the Final Fantasy VII. They showed the relationship with Shinobi thing called the Sega game, the Dreamcast game.
Shimu. Yeah, Shimu.
Yeah. So I expect them to have more, deals like that with other people. And then I don't expect them to show anything with a PlayStation Portable. I don't expect them to show anything with that. They have a bad track record with those kind of games. But I do expect them to show a game that you will have to play on VR. That's what I expect. I expect that they're going to show you a game that's going to be that you're going to have to play on VR. It's going to be that amazing because they've had too long not, and it's been too quiet for them not to have something like that. All right. So what I hope now? What I hope? I hope they show me games that I hope I get my release dates for God of War, and I hope it's not like a thing that says 2018 with no quarter or just a 2000.
What I was gonna say.
Hey man, just believe, bro. Let me have my believe. Let me have my believe. You can have yours. I said other three. Hold on, let me go to the other three. Hope for the other one. So Xbox. I hope Xbox do show no, so believe. No, hope. Yeah, hope. Sorry. I hope Xbox still showing expect. Sorry, expect. See, I'm all messed up, man. You did this wrong. Sorry. So expect.
I said expect and believe is intertwined. So
I gotta expect.
Go ahead.
I expect Microsoft to talk about Scorpio. I expect to see it, and I don't expect a price yet. I actually don't expect.
They can get away with. You think they can get away with showing the Scorpio at this? Well, didn't Sony do it? Yeah, Sony did that. So yeah, they can get away with it.
I expect them not to show a price. Actually, I expect them to show a little bit closer to the release of it. Yeah, but I expect to see what makes it unique and stuff like that. But I'm not expecting a price, unless it's a killer price, and then they're gonna show up. Otherwise, I don't expect to see one. I expect Microsoft to talk a little bit more about their VR/hologram thing, HoloLens thing. I expect to see a little bit more of that. I don't know exactly what it's going to be like, but I definitely expect them to show more of that because they have to show that they're doing something on that end. And then I expect them to try to convince us that Sea of Thieves is a good game. It's not out yet, is it? Is it out?
No, it ain't out. They gonna have a hard time convincing too.
Okay, Okay. Anyway, so that's what I expect from them. Nintendo. I expect Nintendo to definitely show off Mario, and they're gonna show off probably the DLC for Zelda. And I expect them to start hinting at some of the other big titles that got coming down the line. But Nintendo doesn't really show you games that you too far down the road. So I don't really know because they don't really show you game that's like 3-4 years away. If they show you something, except when they did Zelda, if they usually show you something, it's usually right around the corner.
Yeah, they showed Zelda. It was an entire generation away.
Yes.
That one was hilarious.
Yeah, but they don't do it that often. They don't do it that often. They're like Sony. When they show you something,
they did that. Well, they did a lot of that. They normally don't do that, but during the Wii U, they did a lot of that because we saw Bayonetta almost 2.5-3 years before we got it. Xenoblade X Chronicles almost 3 years before we got it.
Okay.
Zelda, basically like Jedi said, a generation. We went through the whole generation of the Wii until the Wii. So yeah, they do it, but it ain't often.
It ain't often. Okay. Well, I definitely expect them to say something about Smash, if that's the case. I expect to hear something about Smash. Probably won't say anything. I didn't even think about Smash. But right. I'm gonna hear something about Smash. And I expect them to talk about another thing that's going to come. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be the computing device, but it's going to be something else that's going to come with the Switch. That's going to be like an attachment or something like that. That's going to be unique to gaming, to Nintendo. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the way that the DS is going to connect to it, but I think something's going to come that's going to maybe a different kind of control. I don't know. I think something's going to come that's going to be something that kind of attached to the Switch or connect to the Switch that's going to be unique. That's my spec. All right, so Hope, I hope Sony gives me dates for God of War. Hope Sony gives me dates for Days Gone. I need my dates for Spider-Man, and Uncharted, whatever. They haven't given dates for that yet. I'm not exactly sure. I'm really hoping that Sony will show new. They're really gonna show us some new partnerships because we need that. And I really, I know they're not going to do it, but I'm just hoping that they actually agree with Microsoft and allow cross-platform games. If they do it, this would be the place to do it, because Microsoft already says that they're ready to do it. And if they're going to do a partnership like that and say, yes, we're going to allow cross-platform games under this stipulation, this would be the place to do it. So that's what I'm going to shoot for.
So Sony basically got to come on board with that.
Yeah, it's Sony. The stopping point is Sony right at this point.
Okay.
So Sony is the person not allowing the cross games to happen. It's on them. And so that's what I'm hoping. I definitely want to see new IPs. Yeah, definitely new IPs, and a reason to buy a VR system and a price drop. That'd be awesome. Either a price drop or a hint at a new version of it that actually does a little bit better than what this one does, because it's a good budget VR system, but it's not the VR system to own. So a price drop to the VR system would just increase sales, but I still think we're too early for that. I think we're too early for that. It would be cool, but it's too early. Hoping for Xbox. I really hope they show you new IPs. I know it's kind of hard to ask for Xbox, what all their new IPs have actually done, which is little to nothing, no kind of splash. But I'm really hoping they can release some new IPs, man. Because if not, to be honest, there's no real reason to own Xbox One. Just completely honest. Especially if you have a PC that can play, you can do everything on the PC. So I don't know. I don't know what to say with that. I don't know what to go, because they really need some things that make them unique, and I don't know if they have it. And then for the Nintendo side, I'm really hoping that they show you some more games, because if any system, I know I talked about Xbox, because at least with Xbox, if you have an Xbox, you still have third-party games to play. But with Nintendo, I'm really hoping they will announce more third-party support, and we start seeing what those third-party games look like. That's on both systems. Just so we can put some of those things to rest, that hey, yes, it still looks good on the Switch. And then I want to see them capitalize on third-party support and release some more first parties and some new IPs, man. That's what I'm hoping. My hope is new IPs for them, because we know the Metroids and stuff like that, which that'd be cool. But I
mean, we got Splatoon and we got ARMS now, but you looking for.
But
I don't know.
Those are cool, but those aren't.
I got what you said. I know what you said.
It's not on the scale of. I know nothing's really on the scale of Zelda, but when Sony's releasing Horizon Zero Dawn, that's a new IP that is changing the game. Neo,
and it's up there.
And it's up there in quality.
And it's up there with Last of Us.
Yes.
Now I won't.
That's what I mean about not just a new IP, but it's something that's going to change. That's like, wow, you have to play this new IP. When Bloodborne came out, people were like, you have to play this new IP. Now there's another new IP.
Yeah,
say, wow, you have to play this new IP.
I think Splatoon. I think Splatoon was that IP. I think Splatoon was that IP Nintendo made that people was like, I gotta play that. Now ARMS is yet to be proven. I believe it has the potential.
But the audience is a niche audience, I think, for ARMS.
That's what I'm saying. I said I don't know. The verdict is still out. I don't know where it's gonna be.
I think
Splatoon definitely did.
But Splatoon,
it could be a
good game, but it still wasn't like.
Nah, Splatoon was a mega hit, man. Splatoon was.
But I still don't think it wasn't. It's not an Overwatch. It was. I don't think the impact that it has not has the same impact that like an Overwatch has. When people are like, well, Overwatch crosses 3 platforms, so I don't think that's fair. But Splatoon 4. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, this is because Overwatch. I would say the same success that Horizon Zero Dawn is enjoying being a new IP. I think Splatoon success probably might even be bigger than that. But for ARMS, I think the verdict is still out. But I agree with you. I want to see Nintendo continue the trend of bringing out more and more new IPs that we haven't heard of. I think that'll be a wise thing to continue to do, and I think they will. But I want to go back to something you said.
Yeah, go ahead.
With Microsoft, because I don't think they're gonna do it. I think VR is already seen its heyday and is already on the going out. Wow. I think it came in. I think a whole bunch. I want Jedi Knight's opinion on this too. But you made an interesting statement, and I agreed that if they don't start doing something right now, you said Sony has to show something for VR, and you said Microsoft, you believe Microsoft is going to do something
either
VR.
Either HoloLens or VR.
I don't think Microsoft is. I don't think Microsoft is going to spend any time on anything but the Scorpio. If they do say anything about VR, they're going to just say it's capable of VR. But
they show HoloLens last E3 though. That's my thing.
Yeah, they did, but they did. But I think HoloLens is a little bit different than what VR is.
It's augmented reality. Yes,
it's augmented. Yeah, I think VR is seen as. I believe VR. This doesn't mean this might be something we need to talk about. And I meant to bring this up. I've been wanting to bring this up, but I ain't never really seen when we could.
Yeah.
And I want Jedi Knight's opinion on this. We get out of here. I believe VR is done, man. I think VR came in too fast, too ambitious, not there yet, and down. I think nobody cares.
So I'm gonna say this really quickly. I'm gonna give it to Jedi. I'm gonna say it really quickly. I'm gonna say no, because we said the same thing about 3D. And they are still making movies in 3D that looks amazing. I just saw Guardians of the Galaxy in 3D, and it was amazing. Now home 3D in the house,
right?
Is dead. In the house,
yeah. That's what we talking about. That's what I was just
3D is dead. Say. I agree.
3D at the movies, yeah, that's fine.
3D at the movies is not dead.
3D at the movies is fine. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, cool.
If you're talking theater, 3D is fine. Just like a theme park. 3D and stuff and those, but at home 3D is dead.
It's dead.
Nintendo just released a clamshell 2DS because I want to be honest, my son never played with the 3D on, and oftentimes when I would play with it, I would turn the 3D off. So I don't think people care. So I think VR. I look at what they're doing with. They basically giving away 3D headsets with every Samsung phone, trying to get people to force people into it. People just don't care. They don't want it.
But that wasn't the same thing with HDTV though. People didn't want it, and until they found a need to get it. That's why I said about the big hit game. When people see the need for it,
I don't know.
That's what I'm going with. I don't think it's there yet, but I understand. But it's gonna die.
I think it's on. I mean, it definitely is not dead yet, but it's on the bed. It got IVs hooked up to it, at least for right now. Jedi, you know what I mean? We all waiting for our opportunity to walk into the visiting room, to say our last. I love you, man, and I enjoyed all our experience.
VR is on the bed with the IVs hooked up. That totally you messed me up right there, bro. All right. My opinion is I think both of you guys, have some pretty good points. I think that what you said, Leveled, I think that, and I've said this before, it's funny that you said it that way, because when VR was like the thing, one of my comments was, this is a massive industry push. Everybody is pushing this, and this is the problem. You are pushing VR with 3D games or regular games that can be played without VR headsets. It reminds me of analog sticks. Imagine trying to play a game like Street Fighter with analog sticks. It doesn't really work. You really need a D-pad. You need that level of control, right? It doesn't mean that analog sticks are irrelevant. When the 3D polygon games began to be developed, then you had the reason to have analog sticks. When Nintendo 64 came out and you had Mario 64, that was the perfect game to show the relevance of analog sticks, right? What VR is trying to push the hardware before the software. With the Nintendo 3DS, everybody was fascinated with the 3D when they first saw it. But all of the games can be played without the 3D. So the moment you got used to the fact that you purchased a game that had like this 3D effect, after a while, it didn't really matter. And you just turned it off because one, it saved batteries and, you know, it didn't put such a strain on your eyes. It's irrelevant. It's not that it's dying. It's just, it hasn't really been brought to life yet, meaning that you haven't had the IP to really show the relevance of VR. There are some cool concepts. You know, you put the VR headset on and you play Resident Evil 7, you'll mess around and you'll crap yourself, you know? But is Resident Evil a game that is really required of you to play on VR?
But very, very excellent point, Jedi. Excellent.
And I think that's what VR needs. VR needs that game to where it says, hey, you guys have been skeptical about VR, play this game right here and you'll know the difference. And we don't have that game yet.
I agree. And that's why I'm saying, and that's why I keep paraphrasing what I'm saying with too ambitious, but you said it right. They're pushing hardware without the software. Now, the VR I played at K-Bomb's friend's house, if that could be brought to the Xbox Ones and the PlayStation 4s, which they can't, then I would say VR is here. But because that level of ease on the eyes, motion sickness, all that stuff is basically done away with those platforms, you're looking at a system that costs almost $2,000-$3,000 to even get that game to run. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think Microsoft is going to spend any time on VR outside of maybe saying it can do it. I think Sony, I don't think they're going to try to push VR. I think I'm just looking at what Sony's been doing. Sony jumped on that bandwagon of trying to say that they got VR and trying to be the first to the punch with it. And they was the first to bring it to the consoles. But they brought, like what Jedi said, hardware before software, and kind of basically, I would say, crippled the experience and the attitude towards that VR system. And now it's like, until the technology is really realized through software, there's no point in even talking about VR, because the software is, and many people have been saying it, the software is not there, and the hardware is not even there for affordable, in an affordable sense. So because I remember, K-Bum, you said that a few of the games on the PlayStation 4 made you sick. The VR made you sick.
Oh, and, yes, it did.
And every testimony I've been hearing about Resident Evil 7, over, I would say majority say it made them sick, and they'd rather play it without the VR, while some enjoyed it. So that tells me that the hardware is not there yet, nor is the software. So that's what I mean. I think it was too ambitious. And like Jedi Knight said, and I kind of said it, the whole industry, from developers to creators, hardware creators, journalists, analysts, all was screaming how VR is the next thing. And I noticed since the VR PlayStation Morpheus now VR has been on the market. No one says anything about VR. You don't hear about Oculus no more. You don't hear about Vive. Is it Vive? K-Ball?
Yeah, it's Vive.
Yeah.
I don't hear about Vive no more.
What you do hear? But I do want to say this. What you do hear, because I heard this at CES, which was in January, where it was a big consumer thing when they talk about a lot of electronics. What they talked about is CES, where they talked about bringing a bunch of bringing VR to the price of the consumer, which is lowering the price of VR. They talked about a bunch of VR headsets that will run around $200, and they're a lot of the big companies are going to start producing VR headsets for around $200. And that's what I did here. That doesn't need the specs that the big guys do. So basically, they're bringing budget VR to people that can use it.
Right.
That's what I did here. But it's not mainstream conversation that like it was before.
So anyway, I just wanted to just kind of, I don't think Microsoft will. I think Sony won't. I think Jedi Knight right on the money. And we're gonna talk about this as we get closer about games we want to see, return, new entries into existing series and franchises. So as we get closer, we'll talk about E3 more. But I agree with all what y'all said. Outside of that one line, I feel like VR is the wrong way to go. I think Sony will do a PlayStation Pro Slim. I think that might be the route to go. If they are planning something to counteract the Switch, that means Sony will have the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4 Pro, VR, and now another device. I don't think they're gonna do that, man. I really don't. So
and actually that's a good point, and that's why I believe that we'll see a PlayStation 4 Pro Slim before we'll see a PlayStation Vita 2 or what have you.
Yeah, I agree with that. But anyway, this has kind of been, we kind of went a whole bunch of different places. There was a few other things I wanted to talk about, but we ain't got the time. So we'll try to pick it up the next time we on. But I'm gonna let you guys sign out, starting with Jedi Knight.
All right, guys. It was, a pleasure being on. I'm about to catch some Z's. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning my time. I got to be up in 5 hours.
Yeah, that's why another thing I was feeling that I was like, I need to get them off. Okay, cool, man. Come on, man. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to get you on in early if we can, but depending on how my schedule is working, how K-Bums is
now
working.
we don't even have to do that. In about 2 weeks, I'm gonna be on my vacation for like a month and a half. So after June 15th, I'll be good to go on Sundays until the end of August. So we'll be all right for the summer.
All right, cool. That'll work. K-Bum 20.
Yeah, it was dope getting back on the podcast. No, we've been out for a little bit, so I appreciate getting back on the podcast with Level. Good talking to Jedi again. I still love the way that man say Mario.
That Mario.
Kill him every time the man say that. But I enjoy being on the podcast. I love our podcast, man, because we definitely have very, very intelligent people that know how to pull together some thoughts and be able to articulate them in a manner that is not aggressive or not attacking someone, but just articulate them in a manner that we can just have conversations. So I think that kind of differentiates us between some other podcasts. I know I've listened to a couple, and maybe I'm a little bit selfish because I'm on the mic talking, but I definitely think what we have here is something that's pretty cool, and it's sort of unique from some of the others. So that's all I gotta say.
Right. Yeah, I do like what we have here, man. I like the fact that you can come here, don't have to worry about if your kid's in a room, and language is correct. We disagree, but in friendship and not disagreeing to be enemies and trying to upstage each other. Hey, hold up.
Life don't got no chill. That's some kids. I know I heard somebody back there. One of them got in the basement.
From 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah, he did. That's one of them kids in the basement.
Down these steps. Go get it.
I told you.
Anyway, yeah, this is one of my babies, man. Say hi. Say hey. Well, she waving. You got to talk.
One of the twins, right?
know how to talk yet. But anyway, so yeah, I'm glad that we can be on here and be, you know, wholesome and clean, and people can listen, don't have to worry about anything, and get good content. But anyway, man, this was 102. We've been doing a lot of these, man. So hopefully next time we get Jedi Knight, D2K and Keith Norris on, and hopefully we can get back on here soon with Jedi Knight and K-Bomb 20. But this has been this particular podcast. We done no music because Pro Tools and my boo-boos in my arm. Anyway, all right, y'all. Deuces.
Peace.